Hey, coin collectors. Welcome back. If you've been searching through your collection or pocket change, this video's for you. Today, we're exploring the top 3 ultra-rare Washington quarters that can fetch huge prices. From mint errors to perfect grades, these coins are worth big money. Stick around to see if you're holding a hidden treasure. Before we jump into these rare finds, let's take a quick walk through the history of the Washington quarter. The U.S. Mint first introduced the Washington quarter in 1932 to mark the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. This coin was designed by artist John Flanagan, featuring a profile of Washington on the obverse, while the reverse displayed a majestic eagle. The design has changed a bit over time, but the essence of the coin has remained the same. The Washington quarter has become a symbol of American pride and continues to be minted today. But, as with most coins, some Washington quarters are far more valuable than others. Let's kick things off with one of the most fascinating and valuable era coins, the 1980p Mint Mark Washington quarter. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a 1980 quarter? Well, this isn't your average coin. There's a rare minting mistake that makes this quarter worth up to $10,000, and you won't believe how it happened. So here's the deal, most 1980 Washington quarters were made with a P Mint mark, which means they were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. That's standard for most quarters minted in Philadelphia after 1980. But here's where it gets interesting, some of these coins were either struck with no mint mark at all or the mint mark was incorrectly stamped. And that's the key to the error and the reason it's so valuable. A missing mint mark or an incorrect mint mark in a 1980 quarter is a rare find because it's not something that should happen in normal coin production. The Philadelphia Mint was supposed to stamp the P mint mark, but because of a mistake, some coins were left without a mint mark. Others had an incorrectly stamped mint mark that was not aligned or fully visible. Coin collectors go wild for these rare minting mistakes, and that's why the value can go so high. If you happen to have a 1980 Washington quarter in your collection, take a really close look at the mint mark, or lack of one. A 1980 quarter with an error in the mint mark can easily fetch a few $100s, depending on its condition. But if you happen to find one in pristine condition, you're looking at something worth up to $10,000. Can you imagine that, finding a $10,000 coin just sitting in your pocket change? It's not only the rarity of the minting mistake that makes this coin so valuable, but also the demand from collectors who are specifically looking for coins with mint errors. There's a whole market dedicated to these types of error coins, and they're often the centerpiece of many collections. It's one of the reasons why coin collectors are constantly on the lookout for these types of mistakes, and why this particular error coin holds such a high price. So, the next time you come across a 1980 Washington quarter, don't just dismiss it as another piece of change. Take a moment to examine it closely, especially the mint mark. You might be holding a rare treasure that could turn out to be worth thousands. And who knows? You could find yourself with a valuable coin that could change your whole perspective on coin collecting. If you do find one, get it appraised, because you could be sitting on a real jackpot. Next up, let's talk about the 1982 Washington quarter. This one has a unique twist, and if you've got one in your collection, you could be holding a coin worth up to $9,000. Yes, you heard that right. So what makes the 1982 quarter so special? It all comes down to a rare minting error involving the D mint mark. Normally, a quarter that's struck in Denver gets a D mint mark, but here's where things went a little haywire. Some 1982 quarters were mistakenly struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but they were still stamped with the D mint mark. It's an odd mix-up, and it's one that doesn't happen often, which is what makes this error so highly sought after by collectors. The reason these 1982 quarters with the D mint mark error are so valuable is because they're incredibly rare. A D mint mark on a coin struck in Philadelphia should never happen, and when it does, it makes that coin a true anomaly. Coin collectors love mistakes like these, and they're willing to pay big bucks for them, sometimes even up to $9,000, depending on the coin's condition. It's important to remember that the value of a coin with this error really depends on how well it's been preserved. Coins in better condition with fewer signs of wear will naturally fetch higher prices. But even a 1982 quarter with this mistake in decent shape can still be worth hundreds of dollars, which makes it worth checking through your collection or change. If you have a 1982 Washington quarter, definitely take a closer look at the mint mark. The difference between a regular D mint mark from Denver and one that was mistakenly stamped on a Philadelphia struck coin can make all the difference in the world. And if you find one of these error coins, make sure to get it evaluated. You could be sitting on a small fortune. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rare minting errors, so finding one can make you a part of a very exclusive club. It's amazing how something as simple as a minting mistake can turn an ordinary quarter into a rare and highly collectible piece of history. And the best part? You don't need to travel to the mint to find one of these error coins. You might just find it in your change or your collection. So, next time you're sorting through your quarters, pay close attention to the 1982 Washington quarter, especially if you see that D mint mark. If it's part of this rare minting error, you could have a coin that's worth a small fortune. Now, let's move on to one of the most impressive Washington quarters of all time, the 1983 PMS-65 Washington quarter. This coin is in a league of its own and has even set a record for being sold at an astronomical price of $15,863. Yes, you heard that right, $15,863. So, what makes this coin so special? It's all about the grade. In the world of coin collecting, coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect specimen. The 1983 PMS-65 Washington quarter falls just shy of perfection with a grade of MS-65, meaning it's in near-perfect condition with only very minimal imperfections. This makes the coin not just rare, but incredibly valuable. When this coin was sold, it went for an unbelievable $15,863, which really shows the demand for highly graded coins. Why is the MS-65 grade so significant? Well, coins in this grade have very few imperfections visible to the naked eye, often only visible under magnification. The higher the grade, the more pristine the coin. With this 1983 P Washington quarter, collectors are paying top dollar for that level of quality. The combination of the coin's rarity, the near-perfect grade, and its collector demand is what drives its high value. If you happen to come across a 1983 P Washington quarter, you'll definitely want to check its condition. Even if it's not graded MS-65, it could still be worth a decent amount depending on its condition. If your coin is close to that MS-65 grade, it could still be worth far more than a regular, worn-out quarter. If you think you have a high-quality specimen, it's definitely worth getting it professionally evaluated. You might be holding a small fortune. It's fascinating how the world of coin collecting revolves around these small details, like grading and condition. And while many people overlook coins as just regular currency, collectors know that a well-preserved coin can be a valuable piece of history. Now, I know what you're thinking, how do I find these rare Washington quarters? Well, it starts with knowing what to look for and keeping an eye on specific error coins. Be sure to examine your collection carefully, paying attention to the mint marks, the overall condition of your quarters, and any signs of minting errors. Even if you don't have one of the rare coins we talked about today, Washington quarters from the 1930s through the 1980s can still be highly valuable, especially if they're in great condition or have unique features. Also, always remember that condition is key. Coins that are in pristine shape, especially those graded at MS-65 or higher, will be worth much more than those that are worn, scratched, or damaged. Whether you're buying, selling, or simply collecting, always pay close attention to the quality of the coin, because that's what really drives its value in the market. So there you have it, the top 3 most valuable and ultra-rare Washington quarters you could find in your collection. The 1980 P Mint Mark Error Quarter, the 1982 D Mint Mark Error, and the 1983 PMS-65 Washington Quarter are worth big money, with some selling for tens of thousands of dollars. The next time you're going through your coins, take a closer look. These rare quarters could be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tips on rare and valuable coins. Have you ever found a Washington quarter with a mint error or a high grade? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, happy hunting.